returns and an interception. Been a rough night.
Going to throw it into the end zone. Emmanuel Sanders, touchdown Bills.
4 takeaways tonight for the Buffalo Bills.
We don't lose football games like that, especially at home. This is one you're going to remember.
Welcome to NFL Live, presented by Windows 11. Monday Night Football coming your way with the Ravens and the Colts. We'll get to that later as we'll have a live report in just moments. But Josh Allen finally did it, guys. He beat the Chiefs. More on Bills Chiefs coming soon. Plus, the reason here some people feel better about the Bengals than the Packers after yesterday. Mina Kimes, Marcus Spears, Dan Orlovsky, Adam Schefter will be with you shortly. Guys, let's roll with some Sunday standouts from Week 5 as it's coming to a close tonight. Dan, you get to start.
My Sunday standout is Tom Brady. This 44-year-old went 31 of 40 yesterday for 411 yards and 5 touchdowns. And that's not actually the thing that impressed me the most. He made 4 throws while getting hit by other people in his chest, feet off balance or off platform, that are not notorious to his game. He was spectacular, and we're kind of seeing a little different version of a guy making those throws under duress. He was spectacular.
So it was a big win for the Pittsburgh Steelers and a big day for first-round running back Najee Harris. This felt like the game we were waiting for, 122 yards on the ground, breaking tackles. But what really jumped out to me, and this is a credit to the entire team, was how good the run blocking was, which was something we were really waiting for in Pittsburgh, and I'm sure Najee has been waiting for, and really gives you some hope for the future for an offense that's looked pretty depressing so far.
Yeah, they say you don't need a run game, Mina, but it damn sure help. Listen, Austin Eckler, man. Look, I know Justin Herbert is the talk of the town and the toast, but this running back has been so impressive to me in between the tackles, the physicality. And I think people look at Austin Eckler's stature and they don't think of him as a guy that can get in between the tackles, but he has physical, punishing runs. Good job, man.
Back to Sunday night, the Bills beat the Chiefs 38-20, and Josh Allen had his second game this season with 250 pass yards and rush yards on fire. But the other side of this is what's going on with the Chiefs. Through Week 5, the Chiefs are tied with the Jaguars for the most turnovers in the NFL, have allowed the most points per game and second most yards per game. It's a tale of 2 quarterbacks last night, right? With Josh Allen shining, Patrick Mahomes struggling, something that you didn't really expect. In fact, Allen averaged over 12 yards per pass attempt, the best mark of a game in his career. On the other side, Mahomes averaging just 5 yards per attempt, his lowest average in a game of his career. Here's what Mahomes had to say after the loss.
Yeah, I mean, it starts with me. I mean, I think 3 of them were on me. I mean, the interceptions and then the fumble at the end of the game. And so I have to correct that. I have to be better. It's something that I've not usually done in my career, but I have to reevaluate where I'm at, what decisions I'm making. I've been kind of a crazier player as far as scrambling and making throws, but in my career I've never been someone to throw a lot of interceptions, and so I kind of have to look at it now and go back and reevaluate what I'm doing and I have to cut it out.
So much maturity from him. And Dan, you heard him say there he's going to reevaluate himself, but what stood out to you about the difference we saw in both his performance but also in the Bills?
Yeah, I'd say for Patrick, watch the game and then rewatch the game, and it looks like a quarterback that's trying to score 21 points every play because he knows his defense is really bad. And you can see like the pressure that he feels of, I got to try and go be perfect, because there were some completions out there and you're like, why are you forcing it there? Why are you forcing it there? You haven't done that all year. And so that's the thing for me. It's like the pressure to try and score so many points because he knows he's got to score 40 to have a chance. Now the Bills defense, they played in that too high shell, and we heard it all night of too high, too high, too high. And I want people at home to understand it's not like too high and there's easy completions. They're also doing a great job of keeping him in front. You know, making sure that he was never able to break the pocket. But look at the mirroring of those defensive linemen. Marcus, you know that. And then the sticky coverage. But the too high zone wasn't just, hey, drop back in zone. It's really like a too high Tampa 2, but we're then get a match. Or quarters match. Or catch. You know, I said there wasn't a lot of space between the receivers and the Bills defenders. And so while it is zone, it wasn't like there were a ton of easy completions, and that's the thing that the Bills did a nice job of defensively. They weren't going to expose themselves to a ton of man, but they also weren't going to give a lot of easy stuff to the Chiefs and Patrick with completions.
I am so glad you said that, because I felt like, I don't want to say the narrative, but there was a bit of a storyline coming out of last night. Oh, playing the Chiefs, play too high, just sit back. And first of all, that playbook has been out there for 2 years now, you've seen defenses take that approach towards trying to stop the Chiefs. But the way the Bills did it stuck out to me for a number of reasons, one of which was the sticky coverage. Especially on third down, they were playing a ton of man. And you saw from the broadcast angle Patrick Mahomes running around. What you didn't see was that nobody was open because the quarterbacks and safeties were all over them in their hip pockets. And then, of course, up front, as you mentioned, you can sit back, but you got to be able to either get home with the four-man rush or set the edge. And the Bills did a spectacular job up front. I was really impressed by not only the rookie pass rushers, Gregory Rousseau, of course, had the big play, also Boogie Basham, but the ageless Jerry Hughes, who continues to show up. And I just want to say this, coming into this game, I wasn't skeptical about the Bills' defense, but I thought the competition was relevant. And it made me question, okay, is this really an elite unit? I don't question that anymore. I think this is one of the best defenses in the NFL.
Yeah, the Chiefs got to read the room, y'all. And listening to both of y'all talk about this, obviously it's truth and validity to the way people have discovered how we want to play the Chiefs. But the Chiefs have not rediscovered themselves. Think about the conversation we had with the Buffalo Bills last year. And y'all know I was screaming, they need to get Zach Moss involved. They need to get this run because you have to have answers. Why are we so high on the Cowboys? However you want to play, we can play that way. And I think the Chiefs are lacking in that area when it comes to your point, running them out of that too high. Also having the ability to calm Patrick Mahomes down from trying to be too much, right? We become so enamored with his magnificent play and the things he's done in his career. But the reason I say read the room, Buffalo watched that for 3 years. Right? The Chargers watched that for 3 years. Your division watched that for 3 years. How long did y'all think that these teams were going to stand idly by and allow you to continue and continue? And then when you look at this defense, it's not enough when you're turning the football over. Last in turnovers, last in points per game, last in opposing yards with their opponents. So you give me Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs and Emmanuel Sanders, you have no shot when you turn the football over.
I want to touch on something that you kind of hit on when you're playing, the teams are playing the Chiefs in that too high defense, right? They need to realize the only thing that they can do. Now, I'm not talking when they're playing the Eagles, in all due respect. When you're playing teams that are legit on defense, you got to run them out of it. And that's the kind of thing that you said is you got to, and I would love to see the Chiefs next time put both their tight ends on the field, put Patrick under center and go, you know, because you talk, the Bills have kind of changed the way that they play offensively versus teams. And it feels like the Chiefs haven't done that yet. You got to run teams out of it. And then, you know, when we're talking about the Bills defense, I will say the thing that helps them play that shell defense, they're giving up 3.7 yards per carry when they play zone defense. Their front four, you know, it's easy to go, our front four will stop the run. You know, I think that's something that the Chiefs have really got to be critical about when it comes to themselves.
What do you mean run them out of it, though?
You got to.
They are asking you to run. They are saying, here you go, Kansas City. And
it can't just be, we're still going to live in shotgun RPO.
Boom.
You know,
Got it. Yes.
There's a little bit of that. But there's got to be the mindset, the Brandon Staley mindset, and hopefully everyone paid attention to last week. We are going to go out and be physical and challenge you to tackle us, so you have to get the extra guy down.
How would you rank the teams in the AFC now?
God. Oh, Lord. Bills won. I'll start there. We'll talk about, after tonight, we'll see where the Ravens fall. Right now, I would say it's between the Ravens